Let's begin with the truth. You're not broke because you're lazy. You're not broke because you're not smart. You're not broke because you don't have talent. You're broke because you've been programmed to stay that way. And if you don't change that programming, no amount of hustle, grinding, or effort will make a difference. Your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. Your financial results are simply a mirror of the beliefs, thoughts, and emotions running your life, most of which you're not even aware of. See, when I say you're programmed, I mean it literally. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing everything around you. Your parents' beliefs about money, their fears, their language, their energy, their emotions when paying bills, receiving money, talking about rich people, or making financial decisions. And without question, your subconscious mind accepted those beliefs as truth, not because they're true, but because repetition and emotion install programming. So if you heard, we can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard for every dollar. You likely built an inner relationship with money that feels tense, stressful, or limited. That's the block. That's the resistance. That's the energy that pushes wealth away, no matter how much you desire it. And the worst part is, most people never question it. They just keep living in the same cycle, trying harder, getting frustrated, wondering why nothing changes. But it's not your fault. And the good news is, you can break it. You can release the old story. You can dissolve the blocks. You can create a new energetic relationship with wealth. But first, you need awareness. You need to understand what patterns you're repeating so you can interrupt them and install new ones. So let's go deeper. If you want to change your financial future, you have to look within. You see, most people are trying to solve a money problem with surface-level solutions. They try new jobs, they chase side hustles, they budget harder, they cut back on coffee, but they never look at the root. They never look at the programming running underneath. So let's shine a light on it. Money blocks are internal barriers, unconscious beliefs and emotions that prevent you from receiving and holding on to wealth. They sound like, I don't deserve that. If I get rich, people will hate me. I'm not smart enough to make a lot of money. More money means more problems. And they feel like tension in your chest when you talk about money. Guilt when you earn more than your parents did. Fear of losing everything when things start going well. These blocks don't just affect your mindset. They affect your energy. They affect your vibration. And since money is energy, if you're repelling it emotionally, it won't come to you physically. Now here's the kicker. Most of these blocks were never yours to begin with. They were inherited, handed down, absorbed. You're carrying other people's limitations and calling them your own, but you can let them go. Here's how. Step 1, awareness. You must identify the belief. Write it down. Where did it come from? Who told you that? What moment made you start believing it? Step 2, question it. Is it true? Has it always been true? Is there evidence against it? Step 3, replace it. Create a new belief that supports your wealth. Something like, I am worthy of massive abundance. Money supports my freedom. Wealth is my natural state. Step 4, repetition. This is where most people quit. They say a new affirmation once and wonder why nothing changes. But your old beliefs got installed through repetition, and the new ones will too. Every day, write it, say it, feel it, live it, over and over, until it becomes your new default setting. And remember this, you don't need to be perfect to be prosperous. You just need to be willing to challenge the old, willing to believe something new, willing to let go of the fear. That's how you create space for wealth. That's how you raise your receiving capacity. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your identity. You're becoming someone who welcomes wealth, someone who feels safe with money, someone who trusts themselves to handle more. And that shift changes everything. Let's talk about your daily actions, because they don't lie. You can say all the affirmations in the world, you can visualize until you fall asleep, but if your behaviors are rooted in lack, you're reinforcing poverty programming. See, action is the loudest affirmation, and every decision you make sends a signal to your subconscious. When you say, I'll never afford that, and walk away from something you actually want, you tell your mind money is scarce. When you constantly settle for less because you're afraid to invest, you teach your mind you're not worthy of more. These small actions might seem harmless, but they're shaping your reality. They're confirming the very beliefs you're trying to break, so we must bring awareness to the patterns. Here are some of the most common behaviors rooted in lack. Avoiding looking at your bank account, feeling guilt after spending money, undercharging for your services, always picking the cheapest option, being afraid to invest in yourself, saying yes to things you don't want out of fear of losing money. Do any of these sound familiar? These are symptoms of deeper programming. They're not just bad habits, they're clues. And once you notice them, you can change them. How? With conscious correction. You must start acting like the version of you who is already wealthy, not recklessly, not irresponsibly, but from a place of trust, empowerment, and worthiness. Wealthy people don't ignore their money. They face it, they track it, they talk about it, they plan with it, they command it, they don't fear it, and they invest in themselves, in their future, in their vision. Every dollar they spend aligns with who they're becoming. You must adopt the same posture, not when you're rich, but now, because how you treat your money now is how you'll treat it when there's more. So begin with small upgrades. Tip generously, even if it's just a little more. Look at your money every day with gratitude. Speak positively about your financial future. Practice making empowered decisions. Choose value over cost. These actions retrain your nervous system. They rewire your money story. They raise your energetic standard. And over time, they create a new pattern, a new default, a new result. Because nothing changes until your actions do. Most people don't realize it, but their relationship with money is emotional. Money triggers fear, money triggers shame, money triggers guilt, money triggers worthiness wounds, and unless you deal with these emotions, you'll keep blocking wealth even if you're doing everything else right. You can't hold on to abundance with a heart full of fear. You can't manifest freely when guilt lives in your chest. You can't expand when your nervous system tightens every time you check your account. So it's time to heal. Let's begin with this. Money is neutral. It is not good or bad. It does not create suffering. It does not create happiness. It's energy. It's a tool. It amplifies what's already within. If you have a generous heart, more money lets you give more. If you have a growth mindset, more money lets you expand. But if your emotional blueprint around money is heavy, toxic, or shameful, money will avoid you, not because you're not capable, but because your emotional state is incompatible with abundance. So how do you shift it? Step 1, forgive yourself for every financial mistake, for every time you overspent, for every time you undercharged, for every time you let fear lead. You were doing the best you could with what you had. You don't need to carry the past. Release it. Let it go. Step 2, forgive money. Yes, that's right. Forgive the concept of money. Forgive it for the pain you associated with it. Forgive it for the stress. Forgive it for the family tension, the fear, the failure. Because it wasn't money that caused those things. It was the story around it. And once you forgive, you're free. You've cleared the emotional static. You've opened the channel. Step 3, build a new emotional connection. Talk to money like a relationship. Respect it, love it, appreciate it, say it. I'm ready to rebuild my relationship with wealth. Money, you are safe with me. Money, I welcome you into my life with joy and purpose. This may feel strange at first, but you're retraining your emotional body. You're creating new pathways. Every time you receive money, thank it. Every time you spend money, bless it. Every time you invest, celebrate it. This creates emotional safety around money. And when you feel safe with money, more can flow in. You are no longer pushing it away. You are no longer judging it. You are no longer afraid of it. You are in harmony. You are in peace. You are in power. And now, you're ready to welcome more than ever before. If you want lasting wealth, you must stop acting like someone trying to become rich and start living like someone who already is. This is the identity shift. Your results always reflect your self-image, not your effort, not your education, not your intention. So if you still see yourself as broke, you'll keep experiencing struggle. If you still think like someone who hopes to be successful, you'll keep chasing it from a distance. The truth is, you cannot outperform your self-image. That's why all transformation must start at the level of identity. Ask yourself, what kind of person would attract the money I want? How would they think? How would they speak? How would they carry themselves? What would they tolerate? And what would they no longer accept? You must become that person now. Before the money, before the success, before the external validation, because when your inner identity shifts, your outer world must follow. Start living in alignment with wealth. Act from the vision, not the circumstance. Make decisions from your future, not your fears. That means dressing like someone who respects themselves, speaking like someone who believes in their value, making choices like someone who knows they're supported, surrounding yourself with people who reflect your next level. You don't wait for wealth to feel abundant. You feel abundant to attract wealth. This is not faking it. This is aligning with it. This is quantum shifting. When you operate from the frequency of your desired future, you collapse time. You bring that future into your present. But when you continue to act from your past, you recycle the same results. So stop waiting. Stop negotiating with your old self. Stop dancing with doubt. Start living like it's already done. Start behaving like money is your ally. Start trusting that you are the source. Say it. I choose to embody the wealth I desire. I am already aligned with my abundant self. I no longer live from fear. I live from vision. That version of you is already inside. You don't need to earn it. You just need to step into it. So today, decide who you are, not based on your bank account, not based on your past, not based on your current environment. Decide based on your power, based on your potential, based on your purpose. Because once you lock into that identity, everything changes. Let's take it one step further in the next part, how to anchor these shifts into your everyday life and create lasting financial transformation. All great transformation must be anchored in practice, not just theory, not just inspiration, practice. Daily habits are how your identity becomes real. They are how the new wealthy version of you is reinforced again and again until it becomes natural. And make no mistake, repetition is what changes the brain. Repetition is what transforms the subconscious. You are not trying to become wealthy. You are training yourself to live as someone who already is. So how do we do this? Let's walk through the essential rituals and habits that lock this identity into your life. 1. Morning alignment. Your first 30 minutes set the tone for the day. Before checking your phone, before engaging with the outside world, tune into your inner world. Start with gratitude. List 5 things you're grateful for, including things you want, as if they already exist. Visualize your wealthy self living your ideal day. See it, feel it, embody it. Speak your affirmations aloud with power, not just with words, with feeling. This practice anchors your vibration at the start of the day. It puts you in control. 2. Money presence practice. Stop ignoring your finances. That's not empowerment, that's avoidance. Instead, check your accounts daily with gratitude. Track your income and celebrate every dollar, no matter how small. Bless every bill you pay. Money is circulating, not disappearing. This retrains your nervous system to feel safe around money. And when you feel safe, you become magnetic. 3. Wealthy decision making. Every decision is a chance to reinforce identity. Ask yourself throughout the day, what would the wealthy version of me do? Would they settle? Would they procrastinate? Would they invest? Would they speak up? Would they accept that offer? Then act accordingly. Every decision aligned with abundance strengthens the signal you're sending to the universe. 4. Nightly reprogramming before sleep. Your brain is most open to suggestion. Take 5 minutes before bed to Visualize your future self with joy and detail. Repeat empowering money beliefs. Reflect on the abundance that showed up that day, even if it was just in thoughts, ideas, or energy. This creates a loop. Your days start and end with wealth consciousness, and over time, the loop becomes your default, your new way of being. Remember, it's not about doing these things perfectly, it's about doing them consistently. Once you've begun to shift your identity, clear your emotional blocks, and build rituals around wealth, the next step is expansion. You're no longer surviving, you're no longer chasing, you're no longer stuck in cycles. You are now entering a space of receiving. And with that comes a new challenge. Can you hold more? Many people think the biggest issue is getting money. It's not. The biggest issue is holding it, energetically, emotionally, and practically. Wealth requires capacity. Just like a container must be expanded to hold more water, your mind and body must expand to hold more abundance. So how do you expand that capacity? 1. Normalize bigger numbers. You must get comfortable seeing, hearing, and speaking about large amounts of money. If $10,000 makes you nervous, $100,000 will overwhelm you. So start exposing yourself to wealth. Look at luxury homes and visualize owning them. Follow accounts that talk about wealth from a place of empowerment. Surround yourself with people who talk about money in a healthy, abundant way. Remove the emotional charge from big numbers. They are just energy, and you get to calibrate to that level. 2. Strengthen your nervous system. Wealth expansion is not just mental, it's physiological. If your body doesn't feel safe holding more, you will sabotage it. You'll create chaos, distraction, or even get sick. So practice calming your system when you think about money. Breathe deeply, relax your shoulders. Say, I am safe with more. I can hold this. I was made for this. Let your body feel abundance as normal, not as a threat. 3. Upgrade your boundaries. As your wealth grows, so must your standards. You will be asked to hold more responsibility, more decisions, more energy, and to do that, you must protect your space. You cannot allow the same distractions. You cannot entertain the same drama. You cannot say yes out of guilt. You must own your time, own your energy, own your priorities. Wealth flows where there is order. Chaos repels it. Practice overflow. Thinking move from just enough to more than enough. Ask yourself, what would I do if I had more than enough? How would I give? How would I save? How would I serve? How would I invest? This thinking expands your energetic field. It tells the universe, I am not limited, I am open, I am willing, I am ready. 5. Celebrate without attachment. The final step in holding more is letting go of fear. Fear of losing it, fear of it going away, fear of it being taken. Celebrate money when it comes, release it when it goes. Trust that more is always on the way, because when you no longer grip money, you create space for more to flow. You stop operating from survival. You move into co-creation, and that's when wealth becomes effortless. That's when abundance becomes natural. You're not chasing anymore. You're leading, you're commanding, you're holding, and it's just the beginning. There is one final shift that will seal everything we've talked about. One decision, one awareness, one truth that changes everything. You must stop seeing money as something out there and start recognizing that you are the source. Not your job, not your business, not your clients, not the economy. You are the channel through which abundance flows. You are the magnet. You are the cause. This is the most powerful mindset you can ever adopt. I am not chasing money. I am creating it. Because the moment you stop giving your power away, you take control. You stop waiting for clients to appear. You stop needing conditions to be perfect. You stop fearing the ups and downs, and you start living from alignment. You start showing up like someone who knows that wealth begins within. Every idea, every conversation, every act of service, every moment of clarity. That's how money moves to you. And when you hold this mindset, when you walk through life as the source, not the beggar, you step into full power. No more fear, no more waiting, no more limitation. From this place, you don't just make more money, You become more confident, more magnetic, more fulfilled, more generous, more whole. And that is the purpose of all this work, not just to have more, but to be more. So today, decide, I am not a victim of scarcity. I am the source of infinite abundance. I am no longer available for limitation. I am open. I am worthy. I am powerful. And so it is. Go now and live this truth, not just for a moment, not just for a season, but as your new standard. Because when you become the source, the world reflects your power, and you will never go broke again.